Now, the only reason I'm doing this because I just woke up and I just so have happened to read through the comments, and this is what I came through to see. Right, you have one person above 7 hours ago stated, "Wow, Hito, you have really changed. You went from praising black women to this. No one blamed the black man. You did. She was a woman who wasn't mature enough to handle the challenges that come with being a mother. You're talking wild these days. Please check yourself." Well, Camilla, I need you to calmly check yourself and to calmly check other black women who are solely responsible, right, for taking care of a lot of these children. And they decide within their grown minds that, hey, I'm going to sit up there and take a life this day. Hey, I'm going to make sure that if I brought you into this world, I'm going to make sure to take you out. Hey, even though I know I'm not built or fit to be a mother, I'm still going to lay down irresponsibly and unprotectedly with another human being and conceive and produce a child and still be a single mother at the end of the day. Look at that. I listed three things that obviously she could have took full-fledged responsibility for, but did she take responsibility for that? No. Does she look like the type of mother that is actually sorry for the harm and the damage that she has done to that child that is no longer here, that can no longer prosper, that no longer can breathe, that no longer has its life, that no longer is able to see the light of day? No. But yet you want to come up here and you want to try to, I guess, type me into submission to make me see the better ways, to make me feel bad because I'm critiquing critically about what this black woman did, which is something that is very much negative, that is very much harmful for the community and everybody else around. But yet you didn't want to put any fault on a mother. You were just like, oh, she was just a woman who wasn't mature enough to handle the challenges that come with motherhood. Is she a 12-year-old? Is she 15? Like, what are we talking about here? This is a grown woman, but yet you're trying to sit up there and treat her as if she's a child. See, this is what I'm sitting up there talking about with black women. Whenever a black woman does something negative, you don't see a whole host of black women trying to sit up there and get on this topic and trying to condemn it and make sure that it doesn't happen. You have nothing but enablers like the woman above. That's clearly what took place. I'm not making it up. I'm not miswording anything. I literally read every single word that was up there. That whole thing is enabling. And then all you're doing is blaming a black man. You know who that is? Me. Because you're like, oh, you went from praising to basically bashing black women. You need to check yourself. I'm the only one that needs to get checked. Your eyes need to get checked. And I'm the one that's actually wearing prescription glasses at this time of reading the BS that you just set up here and wrote. But I need to check myself. All right. Let's keep going. Now, this is a long timer right here at the bottom. This is a person that was originally on the very first right channel, and then they magically, seemingly made their way directly over here. Right. So they said, so you don't care that the daughter is deceased, only that you talked about it. Nobody cares about the black man's side of YouTube. All you do is compete is women, but your image is being attacked. There's nothing Tina Knows or anybody else can do to repair the black man's image. It's a wrap. Put a fork in it. It's done. Woman supporting this channel is a certified mammy. Wow, look at that. I guess, whenever I happen to, talk to some of the women, right? Black women in my family who just so happen to watch this channel, I ask them, and I'll specifically ask my mom if, she's a mammy. Because I'm pretty sure she's not. I'm pretty sure. Let me see. What did my mom do? As the main sole provider, right? She did everything, right? She went through school, put me through school, fixed dinner, lunch, breakfast, helped me with science fair projects, made sure that I was able to take the trips that she wanted me to be able to take at school. She was pretty much on me, every single day. She was the utmost supportive, she was the utmost loving. And the one key factor about my mom, since you want to call black women who support me a mammy, my mom never placed any type of blame on a black man ever in her life. That's the difference between my mom and a lot of black women out here. My mom took full-fledged responsibility for the situation that is. She made sure to do every single thing that she could and that she can. She was always a respectable, she is. I'm talking the best sense. She is and was always a respectable black women. She also taught me how to respect black women by the way that she dedicated her life to carrying herself as a black woman in the image of a black woman that she put directly out um, into the world, right? And yet again, she never sat up there like, oh, let me just bash your father. Your father's this, your father's that. Black men are this, black men are that. See, that's the difference between a real black woman versus the ones that you just see here talking versus the other ones that I've highlighted. That's the clear cut difference. Like I said, I have a requirement like how most women have, you know, a height requirement for guys and different stuff. I have that type of requirement there, right? For black women. If you're not in a sense meeting that, where you're not just like taking responsibility, you're not sitting up there complaining, you're doing just what it is that you're supposed to be doing because you're an adult, you're a parent, and that is your responsibility. It's like, what are we talking about here? We're not having a conversation. If you're not doing that, we're not really having a conversation. If all you're doing is crying and all you're doing is complaining, we're not having an adult conversation because we can't. Because obviously, I'm talking to a child right now. Because all children do is cry and complain, you know, about situations that they feel helpless about, even though in a lot of cases, children can actually fix some of their own situations when it deals with crying. And what I mean by kids, I mean by able bodied, right? So you got teenagers, you got preteens, you got the 19-year-olds that are about to hit, you know, adulthood. You know, they can pretty much alleviate and fix a lot of their own issues and a lot of their own problems, but they in a sense decide not to because they get to fall back into the nest and they'll be like, yo, mom and dad, this is a little bit too hard. The world is I really can't make this money, these bills, you know, stuff like that. But like I said, and the main thing that keeps getting proven is the fact that you will have black women that will or individuals, right, that will come up to basically critique what it is that I'm saying, and they will critique my platform, but yet they won't critically critique what a black woman does. Like I said, all you're doing is further proving my point and also proving that there is no type of sisterhood at all. Because, like I said, if there was a sisterhood, you would do everything possible to correct the situation, right? To alleviate this situation, to correct this individual and many other individuals that are reflective of this story. But yet, y'all don't seem to learn. Because y'all don't seem to learn, we got another one for you. Let's go. A Milwaukee woman has been charged with taking the life of her 2-year-old daughter with a weapon, which she describes as an accident. According to criminal complaint, Jasmine C. Daniels, age 22, was charged with first-degree reckless homicide in the death of her 2-year-old daughter. Milwaukee police state that Stevens had her life taken in a shooting near 105th and Daphne Tuesday night, July 21st around 7:23 p.m. The victim was pronounced deceased while being transported to the hospital by the Milwaukee Fire Department. According to criminal complaint, Daniels is alleged to have lied multiple times about where the shooting took place and who pulled the trigger. Over the course of 3 days, while in police custody, the mother vacillated, blaming an acquaintance, a man by the name of Eddie, and even her 3-year-old son before eventually breaking down, relenting and admitting that she had accidentally took the life of her own daughter while playing around with a weapon in the basement of her home. Daniels initially told investigators that she was walking outside with Stevens when she heard 3 to 4 gunshots as Stevens began leaking and was screaming. Police stated that Daniels changed her story and said that her 3-year-old son allegedly harmed Stevens on accident when she wasn't looking. Daniels told investigators, quote, he didn't mean to do it, when she blamed her son. According to Daniels, only the 3 of them were in the basement at the time of the incident. When Daniels refused to give a detective consent to search for the residence for the whereabouts of the weapon, the mother claimed that the weapon would not be located inside the residence. In turn, Daniels was taken into police custody for obstruction, according to the complaint. And in the basement, they found the following: a black digital scale, a package of suspected cocaine knotted in a clear baggie on the floor by the couch, Sergeant Major munitions box of 4 unspent cartridges, multiple cell phones, a black Glock magazine loaded with multiple different brands of 9mm cartridges, a plastic baggie containing 3 nickel 9mm Luger cartridges, a pill bottle containing narcotics, a brass fired bullet located in the drywall. On July 22nd, Daniels described a third account of what happened, claiming that prior to the incident, Her son found a weapon at the park and did not check to see if there was any rounds in the chamber. The complaint states that the defendant stated that she turned away before hearing a gunshot and found her daughter by the gun and Stevenson's bleeding. And the fourth account as well. According to the complaint, Daniels admitted that she lied again to police in a fourth interview. She then claimed an unknown man came into the basement and sat on the couch and began cleaning the weapon. The defendant claimed it did not bother her that an unknown person was inside her residence while her children were in the same room playing. 5 minutes later, the defendant stated that she heard gunshots and the unknown man fled the scene. According to the complaint, Daniels said other people were present in the upper portion of the residence but would not identify who those people were. Investigators allegedly recovered surveillance video outside of the residence during the time frame that Stevenson was injured. The video proved that the defendant was lying again. The complaint also states Daniels continued to deny that her boyfriend and the father of her children were at the residence during the time of the incident, and also had no explanation as to where the weapon went after the shooting. The complaint further states on July 23rd, Daniels told a story about a person named Eddie wearing all black who injured Stevens, but the video does not match the description. Daniels allegedly broke down and began crying and stated that I accidentally did it. Daniels admitted to playing around with her weapon in the basement when it went off and injured her daughter. The complaint also states that Daniels admitted that the weapon belonged to her. The complaint states that Daniels' 3-year-old son was interviewed and said Nuck Nuck hurt the 2-year-old. When Daniels was asked what her son calls her, she said Nuck Nuck. An autopsy revealed that Stevenson suffered 4 wounds caused by a single bullet. The Milwaukee Medical Examiner ruled the death a homicide. She has a preliminary hearing August 4th, and she remains in custody pending a $100,000 cash bail.
Daniela, I'm told that Williams is in the courtroom, expected to go before that judge at any second now. Williams did not have any prior criminal history until those 4 charges last night, but we are told, according to prosecutors, that she had hired Davis to carry out a revenge killing. Harris County prosecutors say 29-year-old Alexis Williams is now facing 3 counts of capital murder and 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, all over a vendetta she had with one of the victims.
We believe that she had some type of a relationship with the mother, Danyavia Lagway. We believe that that ended poorly about a week prior to these murders.
Last June, Danyavia Lagway, Gregory Carhey, and their 6-year-old daughter Harmony were shot and killed in their apartment off Fondren. Lagway's 10-year-old daughter was also shot, but survived by playing dead until the gunman left.
I don't even think I could have did what she did.
Xavier Davis, up until today, was the only one charged in the shooting. Sean Taylor with the Harris County District Attorney's Office says they now know his motive.
For Xavier Davis, the motive was simply money.
So here you have a video with 2 different black women who were at the hands of the reason why children ended up losing their lives, right? Now, let me just go back into the second story, because I know some people are going to say, oh, so you're trying to absolve the black man of any wrongdoing of what he did. He yet again, this is a black man that was, he sat up there, and yet again, a black man. If you took note, or if you actually go read the story yourself, because I only put a percentage of it in there, they stated that the man who was involved, he was only there because money was involved. He didn't care about anybody else. If the place was empty, he would have ran through that place and he would have got that money real quick and then came back and they would have split whatever it was. He was there to do a specific job. That is what individuals who are in the business of taking lives do. It doesn't matter realistically the color, right, of the individual. If a person is there just to do a job, they're there to do a job. That's what he was there to do. That's what he was hired for. And he was only there due to the fact that she promised that there were thousands of dollars directly in the apartment, which there was no thousands of dollars. And then on top of that, while this was taking place, he was on FaceTime with her. See, she was bold enough to hire somebody to do this, but she couldn't do it herself. See how that works? So she had to get somebody else to sit up there and do it. And then they stated that, oh, you know, she didn't have any criminal history up until that moment. Nah, she's a career criminal. It's the fact that she's a woman and nobody's really looking at women committing crimes. So that's clearly why she doesn't have a history, because they don't know any of the things that she's done. This is not her first time. I can look at her and tell that this is not her first time doing some stuff like this. She has probably been the enabler to have quite a few families lose loved ones. Like I said before, this was a revenge incident, and she did this solely because of the mother. It had nothing to do with black men at all. They stated that she solely did this because of some type of reasoning, some type of interactions, some type of emotion dealing with another woman. And also, just touching on that fact, that's another topic that the black men hating group, they love to look over. They don't like to acknowledge the fact that you have black women in relationships with other black women who commit to crimes that end up taking the lives of those who are involved. Like I said, there's a lot of stories like that. There's a lot of videos like that, which also add into the fact of black women, quote unquote, losing their lives every such and such and such and such given hours, minutes, and seconds during the day, during a week, during a month, during a year. But like I said before, people only want to focus on what it is that black men are sitting up there doing. But yet, you have two black women who are the causes of the reasons why. One, in the very first story, a young girl ended up losing her life, right? But yet the black mother there was trying to blame an acquaintance who more than likely was a black man. And then once that didn't fall through, she tried to blame her black son. But y'all talking about, oh, who's blaming black men? Nobody's trying to blame black men. You guys are just... This woman tried to, the mother of the black son tried to blame her black son for the reason why her daughter had her life taken. You can't make this up. He's not even a full-fledged adult, but yet he has to sit up there and take the blame for the loss of life in the black community. Huh? How, Sway? How? And then you have this tough-looking woman in the next video who, like I said before, because of whatever emotions that are involved with those, or that was involved with those two women, she decided, oh, I'm going to sit up there and get you. I'm going to sit up there and get you. So she sat up there and hired a man who was a professional to roll up through there and do the dirty work for her, while she was able to watch and see it from the comfort of her home. If that's not emotional, I don't know what is. But like I said before, you're going to have the usual suspects being stupid, rolling up and wanting to more than likely leave comments like they normally do, and not putting any type of responsibility on the mothers or the black women who are a part of this story and who enabled all of these things to basically take place. But they will continuously decide to blame black men for every single thing negative that is going on with black women and happening to black women, past, present, and future. Like I said, there's a lack of accountability and responsibility in this community, and black men have been always made to be accountable and responsible for either things that they do, things that they have never done, or things that magically people are foreseeing or wishing directly in the future just because it's a black man. And they fully believe that all black men are just criminals. But yet, on the other side of the spectrum, you never see this responsibility and accountability held, or that standard of the bar held when it comes to black women. But like I said, keep talking and keep saying whatever it is that you want to sit up there and say, and I'll keep putting out these videos and further showcasing what it is that I'm talking about. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I listed in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.